Hi, welcome to my channel. This channel is against astronomy, but contradicting the theory of astronomy, I discovered all the science is false, especially physics and the chemistry, many parts. So in this video, I will speak about the electron. From where do you know that the electron exists? Okay. So now the atoms, you name these atoms. Atom is indivisible. So now they name it indivisible, and now they I say they're dividing them. Okay. So inside the indivisibility, it is divisibility. So this is the atoms. Okay. I know half of them maybe by half. Okay, I'm going to tell you. But so watch who told you the first one that the matter is made from atoms. This stuff, atoms. Okay, watch.
The existence of atoms has been proposed since ancient times. Around 2,500 years ago, Greek philosopher Democrit questioned himself, could an object be divided into smaller and smaller pieces forever? He believed that after a certain point we can't divide more. So there is a limit to the number of times an object could be divided. That indivisible single solid part was called atomos, so tiny that the human eye can't detect them. According to his idea, everything is made up of this indivisible matter and comes in infinite amounts of varieties like different shapes and sizes. Differences in shape and size determines the properties of matter. During the period of Democritus, an Indian philosopher, Acharya Cathode proposed the same concept, that an object cannot be divisible into smaller parts after a certain level, and that the indivisible tiny matter comes in different varieties. He named that tiny, smallest matter Anu. These earlier philosophical ideas were mere speculations, and there was no way to test them experimentally. The words atomos and anu were used in many philosophical books in later years. However, these ideas remained inactive for a very long time.
So after you watch that, you know this is the way I make the videos. You know from what smart guy you learn that the atoms exist from Democrit and some Indian smart guy. Okay, so this is the way I made the videos. You see the electric flow, now the electron. In these atoms, there are electrons, of course. Okay, why? Okay, so now Thomson, the name of the video, you see the plus and minus sign of the battery was only made like because the light must flow from somewhere to somewhere. It flows. So from where it comes, if you say minus, and when it goes, you say plus, the current flows, say from plus to minus, and the electron flow from minus to plus. Electron does not exist. Okay. So now it must flow from this wire. You see, it must flow. You see these two ends of the. It is not a minus plus. You see, like minus plus. This is alternative. You can put it both ways. So from here and reverse. Some apparatus, if you do not have alternative, you cannot. You must maintain the plus minus sign to come from here and goes again from here. So it must be a flow. So watch what I want to tell you about the electrons. The light flows. The electron is light. I've told you. Okay. So the light flows must came from somewhere, go somewhere. If your car goes on a street from somewhere to somewhere, from where you go you put plus, and when you go you put minus, plus to minus. Now you are charged positively and negatively. It's the direction of flow of light. So watch, from where do you know the electrons? From a cathode emission. Look.
From the 1850s, scientists were studying cathode rays. Well, what are cathode rays? To produce cathode rays, the experiment starts with a low air pressure glass tube. An anode and a cathode are fixed inside the glass tube. Anodes and cathodes are called electrodes. The fixed anode and cathode are connected with a high voltage battery. The anode is connected to the positive side of the battery, and the cathode is connected to the negative side of the battery. Normally, a complete electric circuit has a conductor, which is a connection between the negative terminal and positive terminals. But here, they used electrodes. Electrodes are metal plates used to make contact in non-metallic parts and act as conductors. Here we can see low-pressure gases between the cathode and anode. Gases are non-metallic matter. When switching on the battery, a high-voltage current is passed through the cathode to the anode. From the cathode, a ray passes through the anode to the other end of the tube in a straight line. This experiment proved to be a nightmare to the scientists who struggled to guess what these rays were actually made of. At that time, everyone was well aware that something was coming out from the cathode metal plate, but they didn't know what it actually was, so they named the mysterious phenomenon as cathode rays.
So after you watch that, you understand this. I already showed to you, I have this battery because I charge it with my solar panel. I have a solar panel and I plug the solar panel into this battery and charge it. So now where is the damn electrons? I take light from the sun because I cannot put a damn battery on night. Why the electrons do not flow on night? Why? Because it flows light, it flows through the sun, and I charge direct. I put some this. You see, I burn this battery because you see they show to you that I messed up with it. I replaced the acid with water. It still works. The lead batteries, okay. So now, where is the electron that I charge it? I'm telling you what I did also. I put this like this, the sign from the solar panel, plus to minus, minus to plus, and I change the polarity. So you can change the polarity. Now the flow of electrons and light flow like another way. You see? So maybe they put some geometry inside this battery of a lead battery, okay? And so it's some much more lead here, and it flows from plus to minus, some deficient capacity of energy to a bigger one. So this is how you make the plus and minus. But I reverse the poles. I reverse them. Okay. So I'm telling you that these guys were crazy. The atomic that the Democrit was making was reproposed by this crazy English dude, okay? And you are believing that and still today that it sounds like this, like these atoms. These atoms have a flow like this of electrons, and in the middle there's protons. This is what you are believing, okay? So. because the proton is not positive or negative charge, because you see it is a flow. You see this is a plus sign, it is protons, and his electrons, because it's a way of flowing the electricity. So I've charged this with my solar panel, and I've showed you that in a video that I alimentate it. So you make from a battery cathode rays and you shoot them. There's light beams, my friends. You can vibrate and you pass light beams even through lead and through something. It retain, you see, and it makes different frequencies. I've showed to you different frequencies of light. So one of them pass through something, one from do not pass, and that's the light, my friends. And the electron does not exist. Okay, so watch another part from J.J. Thomson. Now he discovered the electron. After you watch that, the flow from cathode to J.J. Thomson. Look.
But in 1897, British physicist J.J. Thomson discovered what cathode rays actually are. At that time, physicists were well aware that the same charges repel each other and opposite charges attract each other. Thomson conducted the same experiment, but he added another negative and positive plate within the path of the cathode ray. Once he placed the charged plates, he noticed that the path of cathode rays changed in the direction of the positive plate. He found out that the rays are nothing but negative particles. That's why they attract to the positive plate direction. So he concluded that if negative particles were coming from the cathode, the atom should contain negative particles. He named those particles as electrons. With the result of his many experimental observations, he proposed an atomic model called the plum pudding model, which had negatively charged electrons embedded within a positively charged soup, or simply electrons floating within a sea of positive charge. This is because opposite charges attract each other, and so electrons which are negatively charged stick with positively charged fluid. Negatively charged electrons and positively charged soup together make an atom of neutral charge. Even though Thomson was the first to discover a subatomic particle, physicists and chemists further investigated and questioned this model.
So you watch that, another English crazy dude. Darwin was English crazy dude. Thomson crazy, tricked you. So this Dalton, okay, Daltonism means you do not see light, colors. You do not. He did not saw that the matter is made with colors, and that's light. Okay, Daltonism from this guy maybe comes. Okay, when you do not observe, the light makes all the connections, and that is light, my friends. They do not knew they were produced in mechanical manner, but now you can capture it from the solar panel. You see the test. You can capture it from a light bulb. You emit it from a light bulb and you capture it with a small solar panel. And what is enters if you capture it from a light bulb that emits light? What is enters? So if you watch that, this is how you are knowing about the electron, my friends, but electron does not exist. Light makes all the connections, and inside of the atoms, there is some of them, there's fire, like in this table is fire, okay? And the fire interconnects with light and makes different kinds. So when you saw that the gold makes gold, makes gold piece, this gold because it's yellow, has in composition some tonality of light, okay? All over where you cut it. So now if you emit through it, you understand it resonates, light resonates. That's why it produces some fire. That's why you cannot put a light bulb in your hand. It will burn, it will produce some thermic energy. All the metals vibrate like this. And all the materials with some frequencies, different frequencies. In some frequency of light, a metal vibrates like this, okay? Vibrates, you see, like vibrates like this. So all the materials in the field of light on a kind of frequency vibrate. Some kind of frequency do not vibrate, pass through them, okay? So now when you pass through them, is like you pass through this, you put some flour, wheat flour, okay, and you make it fine. Some parts will not flow through that, okay? So in this manner, light makes different kinds of vibration. You put a cesium piece on electricity, you make microwave. You put some, you see, because there's some differences in the atoms. That's why. But the electron does not exist. So now you put plus minus. It's a direction of flow. Your S of your car has a plus sign and a front minus sign because you go somewhere. Light must flow. And it flows from a cathode to an anode, or from an anode to a cathode, because I told you I changed this polarity of the battery. It flows from, so it in the middle of atom there's not plus, because you want it. Like in magnets, they put north and south pole of the magnets, okay? But there's not. It must have a north. You go on the north of a magnet, you on an excursion. So in this manner you have the protons, my friend. The plus has a plus positive electricity. These guys were made to trick you, okay? Then they go and make a hydro cell power plants, and they go and they take what jobs they want, because this stuff is tricks for suckers like you, made from English stupid dudes like J.J. Thomson, Dalton, this guy, Darwin, and all the English dudes that like, okay? And the first guy that was making a black hole was an English dude also, and from that was simmering the lies, so demonic lies, okay, from England. Okay, goodbye, God bless. This is the way I make the videos. The electron does not exist. It is light. Light makes the connection, chemical connection, and light, it is in all atoms. You can see light. We can see the colors of atoms. Goodbye, God bless.